legislation to limit secular activities on Sundays within the jurisdiction of the United States federal government. Senator Blair made it clear that the aim of his bill was to preserve the first day of the week as a day of rest and religious observance. The bill was referred to the Senate Committee on Education and Labor, where Blair was chairman. Among those who raised objections to the proposed legislation was Alonzo T. Jones.
Sir, you may speak of the power of the majority in social and civil matters, but there is no majority, however large, that can invade the territory of a man's religion. Not in this land, not under our Constitution.
Mr. Jones, you fail to recognize the right, or more importantly, the responsibility of the state to protect the welfare of the people as a whole.
Senator, it seems that you fail to recognize the clear distinction between man's responsibility to the state and his duty toward God. The first, he must render under the force of law. The second, duty to God, must be carried out only under the force of love, and that freely, voluntarily. No law can command love.
But the law of the state must protect the people to carry out their duty to God. Our Sunday law is written to ensure the preservation of the Lord's Day for the benefit of the people.
An admirable goal, Senator Blair, but completely unnecessary.
But it's been a wonderful time. It's a wonderful history. We've been an organization that has now created nearly 3,000 jobs over that time period. Very good jobs in our estimation across the country, and that's one of the things that I'm most proud of. So honored to be part of this organization over that 40-year time period. And then the other word is privilege. I've had the rare privilege of having the chance to lead this organization for the bulk of that time period. Again, so hopefully all of you will, in essence, join me in celebrating this event and making this a historic time for our company. So all, thank you very, very much. Clearly, the use of evidentiary medicine and guidelines is an important part on both the provider and the managed care side. I think what's most important is to make sure that those guidelines and that evidentiary medicine is fully transparent across both the provider and the managed care side, and I think that's critical for the acceptance as we go forward in the future.
A lot of what our nurse case management process is and will continue to be is what I'll call sort of investigative medical management. It's not just about your injury, that's very important. It's about your history, your medical history, your attitude towards work and your employer, the individual circumstance, right, that you're in and that this injury has put you in, or that your history of medical has put you in, which leads us to the right care plan, the right outcomes, the right path, and the right expectations around how your healing process is going to run.
the medical inflation, I think, is a constant problem we're going to deal with, but also medical utilization. And that comes from a lot of different areas. Two that I think are really impacting the business, getting a lot of press, is the opioid usage, as well as just the changing dynamics of the workforce. You're dealing with an aging workforce, you're dealing with a lot more comorbidities as well, which is influencing the cost of the claim.
Some of the more surprising things that we've seen over our work with clients, for me anyway, and for our group, has been, I think, an increasing unwillingness on the part of some payers to really embrace the idea of what I would call analytic-driven, flexible medical management. So there's still far too many formulaic programs who drop down wide discount beds with limited utilization controls, almost no analytical support for tuning clinical interventions. So the standard programs that still exist are really fairly inadequate for most clients, so there continues to be a belief that somehow they are more administratively efficient.
If you were to look at our interventions that we provide on that full spectrum of managed care, that end-to-end type of service capability, you would see that all of our interventions, whether it's a claim that is right from the very inception with just in a couple of days or a couple of hours of injury, or even if it's a case that has, or a claim that has, a duration of a couple of years, we provide interventions across that full spectrum of managed care that intersect and get to some successful resolution.
I would say number one driver is litigation, and so our primary goal is to try to keep claims out of litigation. And then I would say number two is our return to work efforts, whether we can get them back to modified duty and get them back in the hotels quickly so that they don't continue to linger and see doctors. And then the third will obviously be just the medical management and the extent of the medical.
I think it's what they bring to the claim to begin with, their family, their personality, their motivation. You take them out of their normal day-to-day life, which is work. They lose their identity. And I think, again, depression and anger and anxiety set in, and it just spirals out of control.
Any employer should pull their data and understand what's driving their costs, where is that coming from. Maybe it's a particular work site, maybe it's a type of job function that should be analyzed. But data is going to tell you where you need to start, where you need to focus, because you're going to see the volumes of claims, both OC and non-OC, and you got to, then you can assess what's going on there. What do we need to do to intervene?
Case managers play a significant role in managing claims from the very onset. I mean, it's the relationship they establish with the injured associate or injured worker, the way they manage that relationship and help them feel comfortable that they're there to take care of them and to get them to the right doctors and to get them back on their feet and back on the path of recovery. All those things are really key to making sure that the claim stays manageable.
We talk a lot about fan experience and trying to create the world-class, best sports and entertainment experience for any fan or guest that comes in our building. We strongly believe that you can't get a great fan experience unless you have a phenomenal associate experience. So for me, what Gallagher does for us in advising us through HR and the varying areas that they can add value is they're helping us create a better environment that shows respect and value to our associate.
Our facilities, our buildings that we have are valued in the billions of dollars. And protecting that is at the forefront of being sure that our businesses can operate and go forward. But behind that, one thing that Arthur Blank says, and we all know and believe, is the most important asset we have is our people. That's an area, both areas, where Gallagher has really excelled in providing us great service.
Gallagher has been a worldwide leader for over 90 years in the insurance business. And really, we've got a very unique culture. And if you look at, AMB Sports and Entertainment, they have a broad array of risk management challenges.
We're very diverse. And I think that Gallagher has done a really good job coming in and listening to all the diversity we have in our insurance needs, taking a look, advising. They really have been a great partner for us.
When you think about our focus of creating a thriving workforce for our clients, that work never stops. And it has to be an obsession. And certainly working with AMB Sports and Entertainment, the focus on every single person that's part of this organization has been amazing. Knowing how much this organization wants to create those thriving employees, we have to have that same passion.
One of the things with Gallagher that's been a surprise is the personal relationships that I've been able to develop with different folks on the Gallagher team. Reaching out after a big win that we have, talking about things outside of our business, talking about some philanthropic things where we can work together that aren't part of the formal relationship has been great.
So at Gallagher Atlanta, we have an intense focus on serving this community. This partnership, joining together with AMB Sports Entertainment, has been an absolute game changer for our ability to serve the community. The credibility, the inroads, and the passion for serving that AMB Sports Entertainment has brought to our side of the table has been amazing. And it's allowed us to just lean in way more to community initiatives and into serving this population than we could have ever dreamed of.
We now have a best-in-class partner called Gallagher that's chipping away at every one of those areas where we get to demonstrate to our associates that we care about them, and not just in words, but in actions.
You know what this connected to, right? No. This paper that I just sent up. It'll be the first paper below, but it's the second piece.